German-American philosopher, psychologist and sociologist, the main representative of Neo-Freudism. Based on the ideas of psychoanalysis, existentialism and Marxism, he sought to resolve the basic contradictions of human existence. He saw the way out of the crisis of modern civilization in creating a healthy society, based on the principles and values of a humanistic ethics. The main works Escape from Freedom 1941, Psychoanalysis and Religion 1945, Illusion of Hope 1964. Erich Fromm was born March 24, 1800 in Frankfurt in a pious Jewish family. His father traded in grapevine, his paternal grandfather and great-grandfather were rabbis. Erich's mother, Rosa Kraus, come from Russia immigrants who moved to Finland and converted to Judaism. The family lived in accordance with the patriarchal traditions of the pre-bourgeoism era in the spirit of religiosity, industriousness and careful observance of rituals. Erich received a good primary education. The gymnasium in which he studied Latin, English, and French aroused in his youth interest in Old Testament texts. The First World War caused a confusion in the soul of a 40-year-old boy. Erich could not answer the question what worried him and makes millions of people kill each other. In 1918, he began to study psychology, philosophy, and sociology at Frankfurt and then Heidelberg universities, where among his other teachers were such prominent social scientists as Max Weber, Karl Jaspers, and Heinrich Rickert. Fromm early acquainted with the philosophical works of Karl Marx, which attracted him primarily with the ideas of humanism, understood as the complete liberation of man, as well as creating opportunities for his self-expression. Another important source of his personal and professional interest in the 1912 was the theory of attraction of Sigmund Freud. The fact is that Fromm's first wife was Frieda Reichmann, a scientist, psychoanalyst, and Erich Fromm was much younger than Frieda. Under her influence, became interested in the clinical practice of psychoanalysis. In 1933, he left Germany, moved to Chicago, and went to New York, where Horkheimer and his institute World soon relocated. Here they continued to study the socio-psychological problems of authoritarianism. The program was called Authority and the Family. According to the results of their studies, Fromm wrote the book Escape from Freedom, which made him a name in America. Later these materials were used by Theodor Adorno in the book Authoritarian Personality. When they created their own periodical journal of social research. However, because of the confrontation with Adorno and Marcus, Fromm is forced to leave the institute and say goodbye to the Frankfurt School forever. Breaking away from the German roots, he is completely in the American environment, works in many educational institutions, participates in various unions and associations of American psychoanalysts, and when the Institute of Psychology, Psychiatry and Psychoanalysis was created in Washington in 1946, Fromm is actively involved in the systematic training of specialists in the field of psychoanalysis. Erich Fromm was never an ordinary professor of any department. He read his source of the interdisciplinary level. He always knew how not only to combine the data of anthropology, political science, and social psychology, but also to illustrate them with facts from his clinical practice. He was very brilliant lecturer and favorite of youth, but this is not his main merit, but what he was a great thinker and a great humanist. the subject of his lifelong scientific interest was man. According to Fromm, society should be such that a person in it is connected with a person by love, the bonds of brotherhood and solidarity, and not by blood and dirt, such what which gives him the opportunity to overcome his nature through creativity, and not through destruction, in which everyone feels his own eye, perceiving himself as the subject of his own forces and not submission, in which a system of orientation and commitment exists without forcing a person to destroy reality and worship idols.